Received in fold fillies lining up for the Thrifty Way stake. Picking up speed. Here they come. They're often pacing in the Thrifty Way, and lagging behind is Surprise Romance after a break. On the far outside, Fox Valley Nadia taking advantage of the situation, going right to the top. Opens up by 2 on Special Hope, a length and a half back to Lake Hills Beauty. Racing third, Poco Cloudy. In behind her, then comes Vic Nita, and a gap to Cullen Fashion. Far back after the miscue is Surprise Romance. Around the turn and approaching the quarter, Fox Valley Nadia in command by 2. Opening quarter, 29-1. They straighten up the backstretch. Fox Valley Nadia leads the way. Special Hope right there in behind second. A length and a half back to Lake Hills Beauty and Morgan. A length and a half to Poco Cloudy. Vic Nita, Cullen Fashion. No change as they continue up the backstretch. It's been all Fox Valley Nadia. She's out there by 2 1/4. Special Hope right there in second. On the outside, moving up, here comes Lake Hills Beauty. And now Poco Cloudy. She's off the rail for Dwight Banks. She's on the move by the half, 59 seconds. Fox Valley Nadia in the upper bend. 3 parts of a length. Pressure from Lake Hills Beauty. Special Hope saves ground. Poco Cloudy well placed, poised, and ready to strike for Dwight Banks. Vic Nita lining up right in behind her on the inside. It's Cullen Fashion. They turn for home in the Thrifty Way. Fox Valley Nadia out there by 2. Lake Hills Beauty trying to wear her down. Here comes Poco Cloudy. 3/4, 1:28-2. Fox Valley Nadia being put to the test. Poco Cloudy now bearing down. Here she comes. She's collaring Fox Valley Nadia. An eighth of a mile to go. Fox Valley Nadia still there. Poco Cloudy in the green chaparral. And now Vic Nita picks up those two. It's Poco Cloudy and Vic Nita in deep stretch. Poco Cloudy wins the Thrifty Way. Vic Nita fast closing second. Fox Valley Nadia third in 1:58 flat. Top of the stretch, field of 10 lining up as they approach the start for the second race. Here they come. They're off. Night and Flight being used aggressively and going right after the lead, and gets there easily. Night and Flight by 2. Who Named Me Sue? Percolator showing good early speed and will now tuck in third, a length ahead of Sun Sarnell. Magic Sabra on the outside, working in Coal Mine, looking for a spot to drop in. Echolalia is there. Then comes French Sabra on the outside. Moving up is Fractal. Your trailer is What a Happy Fella. Off the opening quarter, 30-1. They curve up the turn and race up the backstretch. Percolator going after the lead. And now it's Percolator in command of the fractions. A tight length. Night and Flight will yield on the outside. Here comes Sun Sarnell and Hostetler. They're going after the lead. Who Named Me Sue with those three racing in fourth. A length and a half back to Magic Sabra on the outside, working in Coal Mine. Echolalia saves ground. Fractal, French Sabra, and What a Happy Fella. Race by the half, a minute and a fifth, and now Sun Sarnell forging his way to the top, leads the way a length around the far turn. It's Sun Sarnell, a length and a quarter. Percolator right there in second. On the outside, here comes Magic Sabra being rated by Longo. On the outside, working in Coal Mine, is second over with cover. Night and Flight is being pushed back along with Who Named Me Sue. Fractal out there. Here comes What a Happy Fella, the 2-year-old. They're in the stretch. Sun Sarnell leads the way. On the outside, it's Magic Sabra right off his flank. It's Sun Sarnell by 3/4, 1:31. Sun Sarnell digging down. Magic Sabra trying to get at him on the inside. Percolator racing in third. Night and Flight desperately looking for room on the outside. Working in Coal Mine, takes aim. It's Sun Sarnell in the final yards. Percolator on the inside. Sun Sarnell is clear to win again. Percolator second. Close for third. Working in Coal Mine in 1:59-4. Top of the stretch, field of 10 lining up, picking up speed. Here they come. They're away in pacing. The speed coming from Fox Valley Jordan, Giant Surfer, and O'Dominator. Fox Valley Jordan on the inside. In between horses, Giant Surfer. 3 off the cones is O'Dominator instead. They race into the first turn. O'Dominator, widest of all, takes the lead. Giant Surfer racing in second. Fox Valley Jordan racing third. In fourth as they approach the quarter is King's Cub. A length and a half back to LB Monster. A length to Rosedale Gambler. Then comes Closed Case, Bold Buddy, Henry's Pal, and Culver Cadet. Off that quarter, a quick 28-1. They pace into the 3/8, and now Giant Surfer wants the lead and will get it. O'Dominator will yield. A length and a half back to Fox Valley Jordan, racing third. King's Cub racing on the inside. On the outside, moving up, looking for cover, is Rosedale Gambler, and now he flushes King's Cub. On the inside, LB Monster, Closed Case. On the outside, Bold Buddy and Culver Cadet. Henry's Pal saves ground, half-timed in 57-4, 29-3. Second quarter, 3/8 to go. Giant Surfer leads the way. On the inside, O'Dominator. Fox Valley Jordan makes his bid. On the outside, King's Cub moving up with cover. On the inside, it's LB Monster, Rosedale Gambler into a live flow. They're in the stretch. Giant Surfer now trying to get away from this field. He's doing that. He leads by 3/4, 127-3, 3/16 to go. They're all in behind. Giant Surfer, Heitman trying to get him home. Fox Valley Jordan under urging. Now King's Cub takes over the chase. It's Giant Surfer. King's Cub is coming on. A late rally by Closed Case. A 1/16 of a mile to go. It's Giant Surfer. Giant Surfer well clear for the victory. King's Cub second. Fox Valley Jordan holding on for third in 157-1. Two-year-old Illinois breds lining up for the Yates Eagle Stake. They're in the stretch. Here they come. They're often pacing in the Yates Eagle, and Master Mark Gray showing early speed, along with Duncan McLeod. Far outside, Fox Valley Rogue. In the middle of the track, it's Fox Valley Rogue and Duncan McLeod. These two will do early battle, and now Fox Valley Rogue clears into the first turn a length ahead of Duncan McLeod. Master Mark Grace settles in a length in behind him third. Another length and a half back to Recommendation and Dave McGee. Length and a half back to Jake Sedancer. Then comes Lake Hills Bubba, Genuine Chevy, Count Legacy trails. Off the quarter, 29-1. Fox Valley Rogue leads the way, and now Duncan McLeod driving from the pocket and going after the lead. Length and a half back to Master Mark Grace. Another gap of 2.5 to the favorite Recommendation. Length and a half back to Jake Sedancer. Lake Hills Bubba now angles off the cones for Miller. Following up that live cover is Genuine Chevy, Count Legacy trails. Duncan McLeod, your new leader by the half. A length and a quarter. They're by that station in 59 seconds. Duncan McLeod leads into the far turn by 2. Fox Valley Rogue right in behind. Master Mark Grace saves ground third. Recommendation is on the move with 3/8 to go. He'll bring up Lake Hills Bubba. Jake Sedancer racing on the inside. Genuine Chevy and Count Legacy. Duncan McLeod's out there by 4.5. They're in the stretch. It's Duncan McLeod now by 5 with a quarter of a mile to go. 3/4, 128-1. Duncan McLeod leads the way. Here comes Recommendation and McGee. Fox Valley Rogue has to do more. On the inside, Master Mark Grace, Lake Hills Bubba, Jake Sedancer in between horses. Duncan McLeod leads. Recommendation desperately trying to get at him, but it's all Duncan McLeod deep in the lane. Duncan McLeod, an easy winner in the Yates Eagle. Recommendation second, and Fox Valley Rogue finished third in 156-2. Here they come. They're off and pacing. B66, flashing early speed on the inside. Sun Glare, moving right with him, and now Sun Glare takes command. A length and a half. A B66 will drop in second. On the outside, it's the first-time starter, Gotta Kelly, racing in third. A length and a half back to Nuke. There it is. Then a gap of 3 to Keno. A length and a half back to Sand My Smoke. Then comes Guy Laughing, Foolish Courage, and Mr. Walton. They're spread out, and by the quarter, a quick 28 seconds. Sun Glare takes this field up the backstretch by 2 1/4. B66 racing in second. Gotta Kelly 4 lengths back in third. And now Nuke, there it is on the move for driver Dan Knox. A gap of 6 to Keno. The outside, Guy Laughing moves up. Comes Sand My Smoke, Foolish Courage. And far back is Mr. Walton. Approaching the half. We've got a battle up top between Sun Glare and Nuke. There it is. Half timed in 50, 7-3, 29-3 second quarter. And now Nuke, there it is, forging his way on by. Leads a length. Sun Glare right there in the pocket. Gotta Kelly. Underway for Bussy, facing the breeze. On the inside, it's B66. And now Guy Laughing picks up those 4. Top of the stretch, Nuke, there it is. On top, a tight length. They turn for home. They're all in behind. Nuke, there it is. He's out there a length. 3/4, 127-4. Nuke, there it is. Digging down. He draws clear, length and a half. Sun Glare looking for room. Gotta Kelly racing on the outside third. Foolish Courage is winding up. B66 now splits horses. An eighth of a mile to go. Nuke, there it is, leads. On the outside, Gotta Kelly. Sun Glare can't shake loose. Nuke, there it is. Here comes Sun Glare, but it's too late. Nuke, there it is. Another impressive victory. Sun Glare second. B66 third at 157 flat. Field of 9 2-year-olds lining up for the Yates Eagle Stake. They're picking up speed. Here they come. They're off and pacing in the Yates Eagle. Hooked on a Feeling, showing early speed, along with Casino Fortune on the inside. Go Nurse comes through. Hooked on a Feeling. On the outside, Go Nurse racing along the rail. And now Hooked on a Feeling draws clear to lead a length. Go Nurse will yield a length back to Casino Fortune. Racing in third, a length and a half back to I'm a Skirt Chaser. In fourth, Park Lane Dynamite away in fifth. And a gap of 3 to Once Upon a Time. Then comes Free Cat, Big Mitch, your trailer Fox Valley Storm off the first quarter, 29-1. Your leader up the backstretch is Hooked on a Feeling. Here comes Casino Fortune right on his back. Park Lane Dynamite, Go Nurse right there on the inside. Then a length and a half back to I'm a Skirt Chaser. A gap of 2 to Once Upon a Time. Free Cat. On the inside, Big Mitch going off stride. Fox Valley Storm. They're battling up top. Park Lane Dynamite with a power move to take command by the half. 58-1. It's Park Lane Dynamite, your leader, a tight length as they race around the far turn, now by 2. Casino Fortune racing in second. On the outside, Go Nurse makes his bid. On the inside, Hooked on a Feeling is pushed back. A length and a half back to Once Upon a Time. On the inside, I'm a Skirt Chaser. Big Mitch and Free Cat not traveling very well. They're in the stretch. Park Lane Dynamite extends his lead by 4.5. 3/4, 127-1. Park Lane Dynamite leads down the stretch. On the inside, it's Casino Fortune, Hooked on a Feeling. We'll have to do more. Park Lane Dynamite with an eighth of a mile to go leads. Casino Fortune trying to cut into his margin. It's Park Lane Dynamite, your leader. Park Lane Dynamite is home free to win the Yates Eagle. Timed in 155-4. Casino Fortune and Hooked on a Feeling third. Fields off the turn, and now they're in the stretch. Field of 10 lining up. Here they come. They're off and pacing. It's a good start. Fitch Me a Kahlua on the inside, along with Time in a Bottle. On the outside, Miller, Slider, and Dragon Stalker. Fitch Me a Kahlua takes command of length. On the outside, pressure from Miller, Slider, Time in a Bottle. Came away third. Those three are 3 lengths ahead of Dragon Stalker, racing in fourth. We Was Robbed. Came away in fifth, a length and a half back to Garth and Morgan. Then another length and a half to Case and Czar. 2 back to New Pitch, Trump Park, and your trailer Haunted Heart. Quick quarter, 27-2. They're on the backstretch. Miller, Slider in command of the pace. Leads the way a length. On the outside, moving up with a rush, here comes Time in a Bottle. Fitch Me a Kahlua racing in third, a gap of 4 to We Was Robbed. Now on the move for Maxwell. Dragon Stalker saves ground, 3 lengths back to Garth. Then a big break of 8 to Case and Czar and New Pitch. They're side by side. Trump Park in behind those two. Haunted Heart, still plenty to make up. Half mile to go, half timed in 56 seconds. On the inside, Miller, Slider on the outside. Time in a Bottle, prompting a quick pace. Fitch Me a Kahlua. Poised in the pocket for Coleman. Dragon Stalker comes through on the inside. We Was Robbed is 3 wide. Garth looks for racing room. New Pitch and Trump Park, they're both winding up from far back. They're in the stretch. Miller, Slider trying to go all the way. Leads by a length. 3/4, 126-3. It's Miller, Slider out there by 2. Here comes the onslaught. Dragon Stalker, Fitch Me a Kahlua on the inside. Garth finds a lane. Miller, Slider hanging tough. Here comes Garth through the inside. Trump Park is flying. Trump Park charging to the lead in deep stretch. Trump Park with a burst of speed, now drawing off for the victory. It's Trump Park out in front, close for second. New Pitch may have gotten up over Miller, Slider for second at 156-2. Fields at the top of the stretch. They're lining up. Here they come. They're off. Leading Question, Robitaille and Nicholas T, all 3 going after the early lead. Leading Question on the inside. In between horses, it's Robitaille, Nicholas T. 3 off the cones as they hit the first turn. Nicholas T, widest of them all, now clears to lead a length. Robitaille up on the rim, Leading Question right there in third. Coming away fourth, and behind those 3, Reformer. Now off stride is Leading Question. Off the quarter, 27-1. They race up the backstretch. Nicholas T in command of the fractions by 2, Robitaille. Right in behind, a length and a half back to Reformer. Then a break of 6 to Trash Talk. Then comes Sky Vision, Gifted Lobel, and Light Switch. Far back and out of it is Leading Question. They continue up the backstretch with Nicholas T on top, a tight length ahead of Robitaille. Half timed in 56-3. They race around the far turn. Nicholas T leads the way. Robitaille getting the 2-hole trip. On the inside, Reformer saves ground. Here comes Gifted Lobel. Bringing up Light Switch. On the inside, Trash Talk. Sky Vision. They come to the corner with Nicholas T in command. On the outside, Gifted Lobel the pressure. Robitaille lurking in the pocket. They're in the stretch. Nicholas T, 3 parts of a length. Right off his flank, Gifted Lobel. Robitaille looks for racing room. Here comes Light Switch and Heitman. 3/16 out. Gifted Lobel. In between horses, Nicholas T doing all he can. On the outside, Light Switch. Here comes Sky Vision. And now Robitaille finds a seam. It's Gifted Lobel. Light Switch is coming on. Gifted Lobel and Light Switch. Gifted Lobel holding on to win it. Light Switch second. Robitaille third at 155-1. Top of the stretch. Field of 8 taking their positions in behind the starting gate. Here they come. They're off in pacing with Lake Kills Frisco going right to the top. Bad Boy Justin now hooks up with him. Divine Ruler right in behind those two. Lake Kills Frisco on the inside. Bad Boy Justin on the outside now clears to lead a length. Lake Kills Frisco will yield as they race around the first turn. Divine Ruler racing in third. In fourth, light it up. A length in behind him. DL Sam. Then comes Even More Better. Timely Mac is reserved early on, trailing Regal Stance. Off the quarter, 29-1. Bad Boy Justin leads this field up the backstretch by 2.5. Lake Kills Frisco racing in second on the outside. Light It Up is on the move. Divine Ruler saves ground, then a gap of 3 to DL Sam. And comes Even More Better, Timely Mac. Your trailer is Regal Stance. They continue up the backstretch. From the outside, Light It Up. Now forging his way to the top. Off the half, 57-2. Light It Up, your new leader. Bad Boy Justin takes the trip. On the inside, Lake Kills Frisco racing third, moving up 3 wide is Timely Mac. On the inside, Divine Ruler's held up. DL Sam has to do more. Then comes Even More Better in Regal Stance. They're in the stretch and approaching 3/4. Light It Up on top by 2. 3/4, 126-2. A quarter of a mile out. Light It Up is your leader. On the outside, here comes Bad Boy Justin again. Bad Boy Justin charging to the top. Light It Up, digs down, he's not finished. DL Sam coming on again third. Lake Kills Frisco needs racing room. Divine Ruler is held up inside. Bad Boy Justin, but now DL Sam shakes loose from the pack. DL Sam winning again. Close for a second between Bad Boy Justin and Lake Kills Frisco. Tight for second, the mile 155. Fields in the stretch. Picking up speed. Here they come. They're off. Mega Dittos with a burst of speed. Out quickly to challenge Wispy Raven along the inside. Mega Dittos to the top a length. Wispy Raven racing in second on the inside. Head Viking came away third and now moving up. And going after the lead is Time for Speed and Dean McGee. Mega Dittos on the inside. Time for Speed, the challenger. Wispy Raven right in behind those two. Then a length and a half back to Head Viking. 2 back to 04. Quarter timed in 28-4. Time for Speed now leads the way up the backstretch by 2. Mega Dittos racing in second. Head Viking sent on his way by Morgan. They're going after the lead. Wispy Raven racing in fourth. A length and a half back to 04. Then a length to Be Good on the outside. In the black. Heads up the second tier and now picks up cover. Mr. Finale will take an inside route. On the outside, You Bet Your Bippy, about 12 to make up with a half mile to go. Family Counselor trails. Half timed in 57-2. Head Viking around the upper bend leads the way a length and a half. Time for Speed racing in second. Mega Dittos in third on the outside. 04 is facing the breeze and now picks up cover. Off stride in the back was Mr. Finale. They're at the top of the stretch and approaching 3/4. It's Head Viking on top, 3/4 of a length. Time for Speed right off his flank. 3/4, 126-3 on the inside. Head Viking looking to put away Time for Speed. He's done so far. It's Head Viking now by 2 with 1/8 of a mile to go. Time for Speed is all out. 04 racing third, a late rally by You Bet Your Bippy. And deep stretch, Head Viking is all by himself. Head Viking a tiring but in total command winner. You Bet Your Bippy second. A fast closing Family Counselor up for third in 155-2. Top of the stretch, field of 7 lining up as they approach the start. Here they come. They're off in a blaze, firing out quickly for the lead, and in a blaze to the top for Hostetler. Leads the way a length and a half. It's only Paper. Going right after him, Jeffrey's Pet came away in third. Columbia Nipper on the rim in fourth. Racing in fifth around the turn. Don't Get in My Way, Feedback, and Jate's Big Timer. About 7 lengths covers this field as they race around the turn and approach the opening quarter in a blaze. On top, a length 28 seconds. In a blaze takes this field up the backstretch by 2. It's only Paper. Drops in behind second, and here comes Columbia Nipper and Dave McGee. They're on the attack. Jeffrey's Pet racing in fourth, a length and a half back to Don't Get in My Way, Feedback, and Jate's Big Timer. From the outside, Columbia Nipper now powers on by, takes command of the pace, leads a length over it in a blaze. Half timed in 56 and 1, 28 and 1 second quarter. Fast pace continues. They race around the far turn. Columbia Nipper in command. In a blaze right there in the pocket. It's only Paper racing third. Here comes Don't Get in My Way. On the outside, Feedback. Following up that live cover, the Illinois bred Jeffrey's Pet is pushed back. Jate's Big Timer. They're in the stretch and approaching 3 quarters. Columbia Nipper out there by 2 1/4. 3 quarters, 1:25 and 3. It's Columbia Nipper, your leader. Don't Get in My Way, lurking on the outside. Here comes Feedback on the inside in a blaze, racing third. It's only Paper in fourth, an eighth of a mile out. It's Columbia Nipper. He's digging down and responding to Dave McGee's urgings. Columbia Nipper now deep in the lane has this race won. It's all Columbia Nipper. Here's the time, 1:54. Don't Get in My Way in a blaze third. Field of 10 in the stretch and lining up. Here they come. They're off. Lake Hills Kenny D showing early speed with Koi Cadet. On the inside, Baby Ransom moving out with those two. Koi Cadet in the middle of the track takes command a length. Lake Hills Kenny D. Here comes Dr. Energy. He's on the move for Morgan. Coming away fourth around the turn, Baby Ransom. A length in behind him, Fast Lane Lover. Comes Frankie's Image, a length back to Shea Hanover. A length and a half, Look Max, your 2 trailers, Red Honeyman and Park Lane Express. Off that quarter, 28 and 2. And now from the outside, Dr. Energy takes command of the pace, leads by 2 over Koi Cadet. A length back to Lake Hills Kenny D, racing in third. In fourth as they race up the backstretch, Baby Ransom on the outside. Here comes Frankie's Image. He heads up the second tier as it takes 4. Fast Lane Lover saves ground, Shea Hanover. Following up live cover. Third over to the half is Red Honeyman, Park Lane Express on the move. Your trailer is Look Max, half timed in 58 and 2. On the outside, Frankie's Image now takes command around the far turn. Right off his flank, Shea Hanover. Dr. Energy losing ground in third. On the outside, it's Red Honeyman. Koi Cadet looks for racing room. Top of the stretch. On the inside, Frankie's Image. On the outside, moving up with a rush to challenge. Here comes Shea Hanover. 3 quarters, 1:27 and 1. And now, Shea Hanover to the 4 with 3/16 to go. Shea Hanover, your new leader, Frankie's Image, battling to hang on. A late rally by Look Max, Koi Cadet, Lake Hills Kenny D. Down the stretch, Shea Hanover leads. In deep stretch, it's Shea Hanover and Dan Knox. Shea Hanover out in front. Look Max second, Koi Cadet, and Park Lane Express in 1:56 and 1.